Okay, hello folks. We're here for the second lesson of this week, our third week at school. We're going to focus on a little bit of review first, and then we'll go to the actual lesson. Should be a pretty quick lesson, I think. Okay, so we're going to talk about distributing and combining like terms as our review. Now, we've seen problems like this before. We'll go over a couple of examples, make sure we remember. So looking at this first problem, we should always distribute before we combine like terms. So we're going to distribute this negative 10. Notice I'm not distributing a 10, I'm distributing a negative 10. This negative 10 gets multiplied because when we're distributing, we're really multiplying. And we're combining, we're adding or subtracting. Just realized that this is not the best multiplication sign. So let's change that. When we're distributing, we're multiplying. When we're combining like terms, we're adding or subtracting. So this negative 10 here is going to be multiplied by r, which is negative 10r, and then negative 10 times 5 is negative 50. Okay. This negative 7r we haven't done anything with, so I'm just going to move that down exactly as I see it. I moved it down. Now that we've distributed, there's no more parentheses. Now we're going to combine like terms. We notice that both of these terms have an r in them, so they are like terms. We add them together, and that gives us negative 17r minus 50. Okay. There's no more like terms, there's no more parentheses. This is as simple as it gets. Remember that these are both tools for simplifying, making more simple, simplifying expressions. And we remember expressions do not have equal signs. Looking at the next one, we have this 8. We're going to distribute first. Once again, distribute first. This 8 gives us 8 times m, which is 8m, and then 8 times negative 9, which is negative 72. This 2 here we haven't touched, so we're going to move that down. Now we have a constant, meaning no variables, and another constant, meaning no variables. So we can put this 8m here and then combine our constants. 2 and negative 72 is negative 70. Okay, and this is as simple as it gets. Okay. Now moving on to our topic of the day. Now that we've reviewed. Now we're going to practice this in solving. Now in all these problems you see parentheses, which tells us we should distribute, but we also see another term here, so we're going to distribute and combine like terms, just like we just did. Once we've simplified as much as possible, we're going to notice that these equations just turn into the two-step equations we've seen before. So 5 times negative 4x, distributing is multiplying, gives us negative 20x. 5 times 5 is 25. And this 3 we haven't touched, so we're going to leave that 3 just as it is and move it down. Okay. Now we also haven't touched this negative 140, or sorry, this equals 148. So we're just going to move that down exactly as we see it. If we haven't done anything to it, we move it down. Now that we distribute, we're going to combine like terms just like we did before. We have 2 constants here, and we're going to write it negative 20x plus 28. Positive 3, positive 25 is 128 equals 148. Sorry, is 28. This is 148. Now that we have it as simple as possible, now we can start solving. To solve, we're going to subtract our 28, subtract our 28 right here. This, of course, cancels out. And because it's a calculator week, we're going to pick up our calculator. I guess we could have been using it for some of the multiplying as well. And maybe you did, maybe you didn't need to. 148 minus 28, and the calculator shows me 120. Instead of moving on, I'm going to write down 120 to make sure that I'm showing my work and that I'm not making any mistakes. Now, negative 120x is the same as negative 120 times x. I don't know why I keep throwing a 1. There's no 1 here. Negative 20x is the same as negative 20 times x. So we are going to divide by not 20, but negative 20. That negative is important, so we got to get rid of it. Negative 20. Now, this Negatives cancel out, the 20s cancel out, leaving just x. We have now isolated the variable, and 120 divided by 20, I know that's 6, but I'm going to type into the calculator 120 divided by negative 20, and sure enough, I get negative 6. Okay, one more example. We have, again, we're going to distribute our negative 7. That negative is important in front of the 7. This negative here is important, so we can't ignore that. Multiplying negative 7 times 2x is negative 14x. Negative 7 times negative 4 is going to be positive 28. Negative times a negative is positive. Again, you could use your calculator for that. This is a calculator week. And our 1 we haven't touched, our 99 we haven't touched, so we just move them down. We never lose our equal sign. We never lose our equal sign. Notice, equal sign, equal sign, equal sign, equal sign, equal sign. If you lose your equal sign, then you're sure to make a mistake. Now that we've distributed, we're going to combine like terms, giving us negative 14x, because there was only one x. Adding these, we get 29 equals, that was a weird 9, 99. Okay, now to get rid of this 29, even though it doesn't really look like a 29, we're going to subtract 29. We have negative 14x equals 99 minus 29 is 70. If you don't believe me, plug it in the calculator. Divide both sides by the 14, more specifically the negative 14. And notice I'm working down. I'm working down in both of these problems. I'm not working across, I'm working down. And x equals negative 5. 50, yeah, negative 5. Cool. And again, you can use your calculator for that. Cool. Okay. I hope you understood. As always, if you have any questions, please let me know. We are practicing showing our work. It's not about getting an answer. It's about showing our work. Those of you that are finding convenient online resources to get answers, that's good, I guess. But we are practicing showing our work. Okay. Great. As always, if you have any questions, please email me, and take care, folks.